I'm here to do my first real talk video. Well, I guess you can call it a real talk video. It may be a rant video. I don't know. I'll let you decide. But I'm going to be talking about hair. As you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about hair and how it relates to society, how people view us, how we view ourselves. Is hair really that important? But that being said, um, I want to talk about my hair journey for a while. I got my first relaxer when I was 13. I remember I cried and begged my mother to let me get a relaxer. My natural hair was thick and coarse. And I remember getting it straightened every 2 weeks. And I remember my mother burning the back of my neck with the curling iron. With the straightening comb. And so one day I just had enough. I was like, look, I'm about to be 13. Can I please get a relaxer? I'm about to be a teenager now. And she was like, okay, sure. So I got my first relaxer. I was pleased with the outcome as far as the texture of my hair. I wasn't pleased with my beautician at all because she was extremely scissor happy. Now, my natural hair was like down my back. So when I got a relaxer, it stretched out, a little bit more. So it was like, down my back. And she cut it to like up to here. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, that was like maybe my second time going to a beautician. I remember in the past I went, but that when I was natural, so I got it straightened. This is the first time I actually got a relaxer in the salon, so I was excited. So when she started cutting, I was like, okay, she knows what she's doing, whatever. So I wasn't pleased with the length, and it was like an ongoing process. Every time I would go back, even for a touch-up, she would cut it. Now, there's a difference between getting your ends clipped and getting a trim. I did not need a trim every time I walked foot into her hair salon, but needless to say, that was the process. Every time I went in, I got a trim. So I wasn't pleased with that, but I did love the fact that my hair was curly, was bouncy. I just like the texture of it. Now, for me, looking back on it, I don't think I ever should have got a relaxer because I never really wore my hair out that much. Like, I would wear the styles that I got at the salon maybe for about a week and a half, and then I would braid it. I didn't start braiding my hair with extensions until I was about maybe 18 or 19. So from like 13 to 18, I did the relaxers. But I would always scratch my relaxers out. I don't know why I did it, but I did. Because I was so used to braiding my natural hair. So I would like do that in between I have relaxers. Or even like after I would get a fresh relaxer, I'll wait 2 to 3 weeks and then I would braid it and then I'll do a braid out. Now back then, braid out wasn't very popular, especially in the area where I was living. Excuse me, something in my eye. Now, growing up as a child, I lived in New York, so in New York, it's kind of explained. People are totally different from where I live now. I currently live in the South, so the culture and everything is just different. So I was used to seeing women with their natural hair and having them wearing braids and not just braids with weave, but their natural hair being braided and twists and things like that and dreads. And it wasn't really popular in the area where I was. So when I would wear braid outs and things like that, people looking at me like, oh my God, what is wrong with your hair? Which I didn't care because I'm pretty much, I'm eccentric. I pretty much march the beat of my own drum, so I didn't really care. So with that being said, I went through that whole phase of like scratching out my relaxers and wearing braids and things like that. So I remember, we fast forward to college. So I'm in college, I'm participating in the work studies, program, trying to earn me some extra money. And one of the work study supervisors came to me one day and she was like, you really need to be careful about how you wear your hair. She said, because some of the styles that you wear are not considered corporate friendly. So I was like, okay, well, can you elaborate? Like, what exactly does that mean? And I knew what she meant, but, I was just trying to be smart. And she said, you just have to be mindful because some of the styles that you wear aren't accepted by everybody. And basically what she was trying to say that a lot of styles that I wore wasn't acceptable to Caucasians. And she's like, you just have to be careful, and just tone it down. Okay. So I kind of took her advice with a grain of salt because I was like, okay, I understand that. But at the same time, I can't muffle who I am. This is how I express myself by how I style my hair and the clothes that I wear, whatever. So I kind of listened. And then I went through the phase or transition into doing sewing. I remember, matter of fact, that specific day that we had this conversation, I did my first sew out. My first sewing. And I was so excited. I got so many compliments. I was feeling kind of cute. And she kind of crushed my world a little bit. But I was like, whatever. I've got so many compliments, even by Caucasian people. So I was like, I really feel that she was trying to help me. But at the same time, I think I need to do a whole other video on that. But I just feel like she ultimately was trying to help me. But the way she was viewing the situation, I really don't feel like other people were seeing it that way. I was mindful about the colors that I wear in my hair. I don't really do a lot of colors, but a lot of times I do like to do highlights. So I am mindful about the color of the highlights, and I try to stay away from bright colors and things like that. So I do try to tone it down. Now with the makeup, that's something I have to work on. But as far as the hair, I did try to tone it down a little bit. So once I transitioned and actually became a part of the workforce, not just being a work study, actually being an employee, I never had a problem with the whole hair situation. Never had to get called in by HR or upper management and have a conversation about my hairstyles or clothes or even my makeup. Although sometimes I do feel like I kind of push the envelope just a little bit, but it's never an issue. So with that being said, I finally decided to just go fully natural. I actually tried several times. I remember the first time was probably about 2000, 2001, somewhere around there. In my area, natural hair wasn't really embraced. So I kind of struggled with that because I really didn't care what people thought. But as far as like a lot of products that was out at that time, there really wasn't any products out. And once you relax your hair, it's never going to go back to its natural state. So the way my hair was when I was at 12 and 13, it is not going to be that way. And I was thinking that it was going to go back to that state, and it wasn't. So I had such a hard time dealing with it, the dryness, and trying to find styles that would work. I had a hard time doing it, so I reverted back to relaxers, and I did that for a few years. And as I noticed, every time I would go back to relaxers, my hair would get weaker and weaker, and it was just going through too many changes, and also my body was going through a lot of changes then. So combination of things to just, it just wasn't working for me. So with that being said, I just finally got to the point I was like, forget it, I'm going natural, and I'm going to stick with it, and I'm just going to do my research and keep looking for products that's just going to work for me, because I cannot be relaxed anymore. So with that being said, I never really had an issue as far as like people saying a whole lot of negative stuff about me being natural. I mean, you had your haters here and there, but whatever. I got to the point to where I realized I have to do this for me. I can't do it for other people. Because people always going to have something to say about you. Even when I was relaxed, people had things to say. Well, why do you choose to wear that style? Why do you choose to wear that relaxer? I mean, use that type of relaxer. So, you know, you're never going to please people. But it was just recently that hair became an issue as far as like friendships and things like that. I actually had this guy tell me that he couldn't date me because I wear wigs and weave. It kind of caught me off guard. I'm like, really? Out of everything you could have think of, you could have said I had a bad personality, which I don't. But, you know, you could have said that. You could have said, you know, I don't know. I don't like tall women. I don't know. Anything except the hair. It really caught me off guard because I was like, okay, because I understand people have preferences and, you know, to each his own. You like what you like. And I know some guys prefer natural hair. Now, when I say natural, because with guys, some guys, they don't understand the terminology. When they think of natural, they just think of hair that's naturally grown out your scalp, whether it be relaxed or natural as in no chemicals. So I know some of them have an issue with women that wear wigs and weave, but they don't have an issue if they wear relaxers. And then you have some that do. But my thing is, I can only be true to me. So if you don't like what I wear on my head, what I wear on my skin, I'm not going to make your issue my issue. You know, if you don't want to be cool with me because of that, you know, that's fine. Keep it moving. But it's really shocking to me that that was a deal breaker. And I know people are kind of superficial because you see what you see. You know, and what you see is the outer appearance first. You don't see the person's personality, their heart, and all that good stuff. You see what's on the outside, and if what's on the outside not appealing to you, then you're usually going to keep it moving. But I just feel like if you was given a heads up, if you already knew from the beginning what the person is about, and you still choose to try to get to know them, I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice. Because if you already know what you like, what you prefer, why even waste that person's time? And this is something that he knew before we even went out on our first date. So, and I even took it a step further and shared with him about me having alopecia. And that's really something I don't talk about a lot. I know I talked about it here a little on the YT. But I usually don't disclose that or share that information with too many people. Not that I'm embarrassed or ashamed. It's just one of those things that I don't really talk about. But I even shared with him, you know, about that. And but yeah, he felt like it was a deal breaker, and that's fine. I have no issue with that because, like I said, you have to be true to who you are. You can't conform yourself to fit in anybody's box, anybody's world. You know, you have to be you, because if you don't, you're gonna be miserable. But I don't want to make this video too long, but I just wanted to know, have you all had any experience when it comes down to hair, whether it's in a workplace, with family, friends, who couldn't accept you because you have relaxed hair, or you are natural, or that you wear wigs and weave and they have an issue with it? I just want to know. If you want to do a response video, you can, or just comment down below. I would just love to hear some of your stories. So that's it, you guys. And if you want me to do more type of these videos, just let me know. But there's just something that I've been thinking about for a while, because I see a lot of videos and I have a lot of friends that are natural, and I have some that still are relaxed. And just some of the comments that people make now about hair is just mind-blowing. And when I do wear my natural hair out, I do get a lot of compliments on it. But just as much as I do if I wear a wig or a weave. So for me, it's not so much for gaining acceptance. It's just however I feel. If I want to be kinky and curly today, and then tomorrow I want to be long and curly, or, you know, straight and curly, or whatever. I mean, straight and sleek. Then that's what I'm going to do. Like, I change my hairstyles on the drop of a dime, even before I was natural. So that's just me. But I just want to know, have you all ever experienced anything like that, or have issues with people prejudging you based upon your hair? So I will see you guys in my next video. You all have a wonderful and a blessed day. Oh, and I will be doing a review on this wig, so stay tuned for that. You all have a great and an awesome day.